Donald Trump really wants you to believe that he's still in this thing, and he can't necessarily always articulate exactly why. So he's been doing a lot of retweeting. And the thing is, you go to war with the tweeters you can retweet, not necessarily the tweeters you wish you could retweet. And so what does Trump have? Well, Trump has CatTurd. No, really, it's an account called CatTurd that he has been retweeting in support of himself in the election. So CatTurd says, Rudy Giuliani is presenting a ton of evidence. If you ignore or refuse to look at the mountain of evidence being presented, save your breath barking to us about there being no evidence. You can't have it both ways. Yasmin, those are strong words from CatTurd, who also says, they never thought Trump and we the people would call bull ass and fight back hard. They were wrong. Well, there I do have to, I take issue with CatTurd's argument there, because we always knew Trump wasn't going to accept the results if he lost. He was very clear about that. That's the sort of like insipid, stupid thing that you say that sounds strong. Like they didn't think we'd realize it and fight, but no, we always knew that you were gonna whine and complain, CatTurd. Not you necessarily, I don't prejudge CatTurd, but Trump definitely was never gonna accept the results.
I mean, we do have to acknowledge the wisdom of CatTurd. I don't even like saying that. It feels dirty.
I don't either. I'm getting
it's so silly. But yeah, it's a lot of posturing and pumping out your chest or whatever, peacocking. And it's like, yeah, we all knew you were gonna do this. Everything was laid out. Nothing unpredictable has happened thus far regarding the 2020 election. I haven't been surprised yet. I can't imagine that a lot of Damage Report viewers are surprised either. It's all been there.
Yeah, Trump, he's been doing what we expect. And look, I'm glad that there have been, like, some of these Republican governors have been willing to acknowledge reality. I did think that there would be fewer Republicans totally going along with this, that the Jim Jordans and all of that would just be nonstop tweeting crazy conspiracy theories. They've all become Trump effectively. But this is where it gets even more interesting, because he's doing all of this retweeting in support of himself. Most of it CatTurd related, but not all of it. And some of it isn't just about his frustrations with the election that just finished. Some of it is pointing forward towards the next election. So Carmine Sabia, who the president of the United States retweeted, who is this person? I have no idea. I doubt he does either. But this is who the most powerful individual in the world chose to retweet, says, watching the Arizona hearings and then watching Governor Ducey sign those papers, why bother voting for Republicans if what you get is Ducey and Kemp? And this is amazing, because think about what he's saying there. So he's retweeting, don't vote Republican if you just get people like this. And one of the states where you get people like Kemp is Georgia, where the two runoff elections are about to happen. So Trump is retweeting people saying, don't bother voting Republican when there is an election in like 3 weeks or something. Even though he's at the same time also saying the elections don't even need to happen because the Republicans already won them. So he's saying, don't vote for the Republicans, and why would you have to? Because we already won it, it's unnecessary. But he's also planning to travel to Georgia to get people to vote for the Republicans that he doesn't think you should vote for, and you also don't need to vote for because the election's unnecessary because they already won it. And this is the sort of way that Republicans can be sort of mentally flexible. All of that makes sense to them. All of these seemingly self-contradictory statements about what needs to be done in a few weeks, but they've made some sense out of it.
What did you say? Mentally flexible? That's brilliant. That's perfect. That's what it is. Because even as you were detailing everything about that tweet, my own brain, I was just like, what? Like, none of this makes sense. And I had like 1,000 questions while you were talking. And then I was like, oh yeah, they're very mentally flexible. That's exactly what it is. Or just willing to accept or not accept things that don't fit in with their. And I've always said that's the one thing that the Republican Party has over the Democrats, including the progressives, is that they all fall in line. No matter how ridiculous it is, they all stay on message. And that's, a lesson that we all got from Leslie Knope on Parks and Rec. You just got to stay on message. They got it. The Democrats didn't. So that's why they won in 2016, I think.
And just briefly, I want to just read a few people who are a little bit worried about some of this rhetoric from the president about the fact that you shouldn't vote. So let's see, Eric Johnson's campaign advisor to Kelly Loeffler, one of the two that's having her runoff election in the very near future. He says, you can't say the system is rigged, but elect these two senators. At some point, he either drops it or he says, I want everybody to vote and get their friends to vote so the margins are so large that they can't steal it. So he's even giving Trump the option of keeping up this entire thing is rigged thing by just twisting it to be like it's rigged. So you definitely need to vote so that we have enough to overcome the rigging. But he's worried about it because he is being paid to get Kelly Loeffler elected. And the president that he probably worships as his own personal deity is implying that maybe you shouldn't vote for her. But it's not just him. Buzz Brockway, real human, former Republican state representative, says, I had someone message me just last week saying, nope, I'm done. Can't trust the election, never voting again. The president has a very dedicated group of supporters who don't really support the broader Republican Party. They support him. And look, I'm not gonna show you the images, but apparently on Parler, there's this boycott brewing of people either saying they're not gonna vote in the runoffs or they're just gonna write in Trump. I don't know, Yasmin, do you think that is that actually going to impact the vote totals? Does it matter at this point, or is that just like a social media stunt?
I feel like I'm inclined to say it's a social media stunt, but a lot of the people on Parler are those Republicans who do go out and vote. Just demographically, they're the ones who vote more than typically every other group really in the United States, especially in a place like Georgia. So I don't know if it would make a huge difference. It kind of is reminiscent of a lot of progressives who wanted to boycott the 2020 election. And then people were like, you need solidarity versus division. So it is interesting to kind of see it mirrored, but bastardized on the other side. You have, I think it comes down to motivation. What are they actually afraid of? What are they trying to do? And will it be effective? I don't think it'll change much ultimately. We'll see.
You have to balance. They're really mad, and and everyone that they look up to and trust, whether in politics or media, has been telling them this entire thing is fraudulent. You're being lied to, and everybody's a traitor. By the way, everybody is backstabbing Trump and making it so that he didn't win. But you should totally vote. So they're really mad, but at the same time, they don't want Biden to have unified control of two branches of government, and so. I don't know. It could be a close election.
I wonder if they know why they're mad. Like they're mad about these fraudulent elections, and the proof that they've been given is not proof at all. But I guess their mental flexibility is like, no, this counts, this works, even though here's all the evidence that it doesn't work. Ducey even, he was saying we hand count our ballots and we hand validate the signatures on them. These people are working really, really hard through the holidays even now to verify these election results. And you have people who are still trying to sabotage it well after election day. It's just very strange. And I think a lot of what we see from Trump supporters specifically, as opposed to just like general Republicans, is that they are organized in their own weird way, but I don't think that they have the majority in the country that they seem to think they do. And especially in that last tweet or quote that you had from the New York Times, it is interesting because what I think will happen is that after Trump properly loses the election, after Biden's inaugurated, he'll go away. He'll have, a niche on the internet where he is, but the mainstream media doesn't have to cover him anymore. And that's how he gets a lot of his publicity and like that. So I think the Trump coalition of the Republican Party, I think that'll dwindle or go into hiding maybe. But I think 2021 will be a lot easier as far as, how mentally taxing the last 4 years have been.
Okay, let's clip that out and we will return to that in a year and see if things are actually better. We'll see. I thought 2019 was rough. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.